So over the last 2 years, I feel like I've developed a really good baseline package for my Fury stuff, with the updated cars. Obviously, with the Reese's car, I feel like the thing's been a rocket everywhere we've taken it, and even on days it doesn't always have great fire off speed. It's super repeatable, really good long run piece. I plugged almost the same exact package into Sozio's new Pro, went to the Red Eye, qualified 8th, and drove up to finish 2nd. Rutherford's car, once we did the updates to it, he was thrilled with it. We were a top 10 car out of 34 at Speed Weeks. But Auburndale's a different animal. It's so tight. It's pretty flat. It's starting to get bumpy. They spray the crap out of it, so it's really, really grippy. So you have to do a lot to get just rotation, just to get the car to turn. It's a lot of effort. So basically take the base package part of the notebook and throw it away for this weekend. So time to start moving stuff. Well, we got it inside. She's dirty. There's a leaf. You can tell she's been sitting for a little while. Got some cleaning to do. Looking a little rough, but we'll get her shined up and ready to go. Let that orange be gleaming this weekend. Hopefully, not in the rain. But with all the big track racing we've done lately, there's one thing we haven't had to worry about: having too much power. These are, for you guys not in the know, restrictor plate options to knock a little horsepower out. Some people run the motors wide open at Auburndale. Some knock them down a little, some knock them down a lot. I'm not going to tell you how much I'm doing, but I don't like it wide open personally. I feel like I'm so much of a momentum driver, I start rolling back to the throttle too early, naturally, to really utilize the full horsepower on that little racetrack. So I honestly feel like I can go faster having a little bit of horsepower knocked out of it for there. So we'll, with all the different sizes, you can kind of play with it and tune it to how grippy the track is. But I'm going to start with my baseline for there. All right, I have so much work I need to be doing, but driving the 2 hours or so with traffic during the day down to Auburndale to get the trailer dropped off. Small pit area, don't want to be stuck like out back or in a crappy spot or whatever. I know there's so many people coming. It's worth a half a day to drive down there and get it dropped off, so that way tomorrow I don't have to be rushing and nervous trying to get down there to make sure I get there in time to get a spot and then sit around for 6 hours before practice starts. So yay, big race life. Waste a half a work day driving down just to park. Woo. This is not the answer I was looking for from you. Got a right rear down. The interstate's right there. Oh, that's pretty. Woo. All right, we might have lost a lap, but pit stop complete. Drop the jack and go. Not winning any beauty contest with that though. All right, we're here. A little bit of quiet track. They're spraying the sticky stuff down to make it to where you could actually use a super late model motor damn near wide open. Some people will around this tiny little racetrack, but calm before the storm. While most late model drivers have teams doing everything for themselves, I'm here by myself getting my second car out of the trailer for the day. Got the Super out and getting the customer car out because they're running late. At P3 on a mock run at the end of the night out of almost 40 cars. Well, Reese's car still gets it done. All right, I'm gonna head home, get a good night's rest, and be back at it in the morning. All right, we're here Saturday, race day for the Supers. Getting ready to go for final practice. We'll be having a live in-car camera for Pit Road TV. That thing is massive. but practice getting ready to start. I'm gonna fire this thing up, get some heat in it.
This driver on board camera with us here tonight. He was the show at the Ingram Memorial. He set quick time, opted to start all the way at the back of the field, drove all the way up through the field, finished third in the Ingram Memorial last season. Driver out of Brooksville, Florida, in the Right Foot Down Motorsports Webster race cars, number 33W Daniel Webster, with another one of his great throwback schemes on this car, paying tribute to Reese's scheme that Kevin Harvick and I believe Clint Boyer ran a few times in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Daniel Webster looking best. Of course, Nick Neary, time to win the Ingram Memorial. He has won our Cars Racing for a Dream charity race at the end of the season here at the the last 2 years running. So Nick Neary definitely feeling comfortable here at the Auburndale Speedway as he goes third quick at a 13.214, 13.214 for the 17 of Nick Neary. Daniel Webster still looking for speed. 13.424. That puts him 14th fastest as he takes the checkered flag.
Yeah, Webster way down the speed chart here. Let's see what he can do on this final lap. Webster to the line, and he is not going to pick up. Webster, 14th, 13.399. That is going to put Daniel Webster in some serious jeopardy of having to race his way in. Steve Dorr brings the field out of turn number 4. Green flag is out, and B-Main number 2 is underway.
Great start for Steve Dorr in the 64. He'll get clear of the 22 of Robert Jonas, who's now under attack from the 33 of Daniel Webster. Side by side for the second spot. Webster to the bottom, and he's got Rich Bickle on his rear bumper in the 45.
Webster's trying to make quick work with the 22 of Robert Jonas, but Robert Jonas not going anywhere just yet on the outside, but big time sideways there, and he slides right in front of the nose of the 45 of Rich Bickle. Bickle slides to the outside, seeing if he can find a little bit of daylight up there.
Daniel Webster and Robert Jonas looking to bring it around and make the starting field for the Ken Hyatt Memorial.
White flag in the air, final time down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Steve Dorr, Daniel Webster, and Robert Jonas are going to work their way into the main field. The Ken Hyatt Memorial 142 is green at Auburndale. We to have some onboard shots. We're on board here with Daniel Webster, and you'll see it out in front here. Watch the stack up. You see it down there at the bottom. Oh, my goodness.
Good heads-up driving by Webster there to jump to the outside and get clear of all those cars stacking up in front of him.
Blakely getting underneath the rear end of the 64 of Steve Dorr. Watch the left side of your screen there. There you saw it at real time. And what a reaction by Daniel Webster to move to the outside and get around that. As you see here, the 22 going to get up and underneath the 64 of Dorr, and then Dorr got into the back of, I believe that's going to be the 9 of Brayson Bennix of Cody Stickler.
Yeah, all just stacked up there going into one. It looks like Jake, and unfortunately Nick Neary got the worst of it.
Yeah, Goddard got a piece of that as well. I believe Jared Irvin's also going to come away with a little bit of damage from that as well. I mean, a pretty good job, Jonathan.
Daniel Webster right in front of him there. Both those cars getting together. He somehow was able to get around, and
that's 2 for Webster tonight. He's been right in the middle of it.
We're going to have to put him on the payroll as a camera guy for this race.
And you got the 30 of Jesse Dutilli. And, big time problems, the 33 of Daniel Webster. The 67 of Colin Allman. Smoke pouring out of the bottom of the race car engineering number 67. His night's over, and look at this sight here. The 33 of Daniel Webster. I can't believe that hood stayed as long as it did, given how much of the front of that car was missing, but a lot going on there. Allman is in the infield, and the 33 of Webster, he's going to have to go to the attention of his crew.
Colin Allman, but here comes Daniel Webster to the attention of the Right Foot Down Motorsports crew.
Ross Francisco in the pits as well, and it looks like there's going to be a flurry of activity in the hot pit area. We'll send it down to Steve Darling.
Yeah, they're removing the hood from the 33 of Webster. They're continuing to do work on the left front of Ross Francisco, number 9, trying to put some tape on there. Daniel Webster's team going to work. looks like you need some brake fluid. Going to add some brake fluid to that.
So as the work continues on the 33 of Daniel Webster, as they go to add some brake fluid, power steering fluid, excuse me, as they're working on the front end of that car, and a lot going on. And again, I'm coming to the green with 16 laps to go. Daniel Webster to the outside. Who's going to mount a late race charge? Who's going to win the inaugural Ken Hyatt Memorial 142? Stephen Nasse able to get away cleanly. The battle is on for second. Here comes Nicholas Noggle to the inside of Webster.
Side by side for the second spot. The driver from Nova Scotia trying to take the second spot away. Daniel Webster fighting hard with what's left of his race car way up the track in turns 3 and 4. He's going to lose a bunch of spots.
Daniel Webster's going to fall back into the clutches of the rest of the field. Jesse Dutilli, Jonathan Guy, all going to get around him. Jonathan Guy has moved up into the 5th position. 13 laps to go as Stephen Nasse looks to pull away.
Cody Stickler now to the inside of Daniel Webster. Webster getting shuffled all the way to the back. That car all sorts of squirrely. Webster going to go around in turn number 4. That's going to bring out the caution flag here with 12 laps to go.
Webster spins down in turn number 4. That car an absolute handful to try to hang on to here in these closing laps.
Well, guys, we're back at the shop. That was something. Oh, my God. Well, obviously, you riding along on the in-car knew it wasn't going to be pretty. Man, that's a tough one to put into words. Lost power steering. So, I mean, backing up further, qualified terrible. Bad set of tires, I guess. I don't know. Never really fell out of the top 3 or 4 all weekend. Put tires on, went to qualify, and it plowed tight. Qualified 22nd and had to race in through the B main. And it kind of started charging right from the start of the race. Like, it had good race pace. But by the first caution period, I lost power steering. And if you guys ever tried to race these things with no power steering, I'm still sore today. It's Monday. It was a shame because the car was really good in race trim. Battled my way up through there. The 4 ran my left front over coming off 2 and ripped the nose off. So it got tight. And then just sat there and drugged the airbox the whole rest of the race. And then we battled up into the top 10, and just the wind buffeting around finally broke all the hood braces off, and it flipped up over the windshield. Had to take that off. They refilled the power steering reservoir in a car. Like, I passed 4 cars on the outside in like 3 laps whenever I could steer it. But it pushed all the fluid back out, pushed it all out the overflow, or like through the cap. So I guess the pump's burned up, whatever. I just had such a hard time steering for a 2-hour extremely rough race with no power steering that I still battled my way up to 4th. The 2 leaders took each other out, had a shot to win, lined up with whatever it was, under 20 to go, outside of the front row of Nasse. Got a good start, was kind of nosed out ahead of him down into 1, and I tried a little bit too hard, got a little free, got up the hill, and just by the time I could wrestle the wheel where I needed to get it pointed, I lost ground. The 3rd place car got up next to me, got through 3 and 4 really good, and damn near had him cleared down into 1, and he just throttled up, drove through my left front, up off of 2. I tried to door shot him back into 3, kind of as payback, and it ripped the wheel out of my hand. I slid way up the track, the whole field went by, and that was pretty much it. There was only like 10 to go or something like that, so finished 8th, I think. This last car in the lead lap, just kind of riding around at the end, running out of parts of the car to fall off. It's frustrating. We used to race there, used to run there every big race they had and run 5, 6, 8 times a year and not tear the car up. Like, it's doable. You can see from my in-car, you can pass people without hitting them. It's possible. But people today choose to Like if they're on underneath of you and they're having a hard time getting off the corner, just open the steering wheel up a little bit, bounce off of you and go. I mean, I know that's short track racing, but God, these cars are really expensive and really well put together to just drive into each other every chance you get. It's not how I was raised. It's not how, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm too old school for how 2026 is, but it just doesn't match the driver etiquette that I came up with. But it was fun to put a show on. It's always fun when you hop out of the car when the race is over and you have a line of people coming to tell you how fun they had watching you the whole time. So that makes it worth it. It was, like I said, it's always rewarding to have people lined up to tell you how much fun it was to watch coming from the rear 2, 3, 4 times, whatever, all the way up to outside of Stephen Nasse for the lead with no hood or nose on the car. I tried. That was maximum effort right there. So there was a few times I really wanted to give up and get out of the car and take an ice bath to cool my freaking arm muscles that were on fire. Triceps are still sore today, but wasn't meant to be. That's a shame. Like I said, I was riding in fourth, catching the leaders at one point in time with the car so damaged and me not even able to run the line I want to run because I was having such a hard time getting the wheels turned. So I would just kind of aim straight at the corner, try to overcook the wheel, try to get it back straight, take off again, giving the car 60% of what it, driving ability of what it needed to go win, and still had a shot at it. It sucks to get that close and come up short, but anyways, I've rambled long enough. I'll let you guys go. So as always, appreciate the crap out of you guys watching this. We just hit 500 subscribers for something I just started. I try to do in my free time. My buddy Alec with Patriot Media does the editing for me because I barely have time to grab my phone and talk to you all, much less sit down and edit it at night. So we're doing our best to keep growing the channel. The in-car camera and footage and everything I think really made this one worth tuning in, from seeing all the madness from my point of view during the race. So appreciate you guys. My next race will be the Rattler, 250 laps, 50,000 to win. That's going to be my biggest race I've ever been in. So this car's probably not going to make it. So we'll get the new car that had a strong debut at Cordeal. Just need to figure out what went wrong with it and make sure it can do what it did the first 30 laps for 250, and see if we can go chase some rattlesnakes in the next one. So appreciate you guys. Do the old like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll keep at it, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.